And when you're doing all this training at these Olympic facilities that I know people do all around the globe, they want some results. They don't care if you won if you came to top 32, but on your way there you beat, let's say, if you beat Shigekix on your way there, they just want your, what ranking did you get from this competition? Okay, this is how good you are.
What's been the biggest surprise about this Olympics journey that you're on?
I think maybe the biggest surprise is that the level is just going nuts. Like from month to month, the level is just going up and up and up. And then I practice and I practice and I feel like, yo, no, I'm ready. And then I come to a battle and suddenly everyone is just so much better. And you kind of have to 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 keep leveling up at the same speed or hopefully faster than the other people. But it's been a crazy ride. I've been like traveling almost nonstop, like every weekend or every other weekend since May, all the way into the end of October. And I just felt like my body was so tired. It took me about 2 weeks to kind of recover and get back my energy levels after all this traveling and competing. But it's been amazing, and I learned so much about both breaking and myself. So I'm really happy to do this.
But that's the crazy thing, isn't it? I think in the Olympics, because they now do the round robin concept to find the top eight, I think that helped people really push their level too. But I've noticed that the same people that are doing well at at Red Bull BC One and Battle of the Year and all these different events, they're doing really well in the Olympics too. And I think a big sort of conception that people had is that the more artistic dancers wouldn't really do well in the Olympics, but it seems like they are. And I think to your comment about the level always going up and up and up, I think the Olympics has been a good thing for us in terms of that.
Yeah, it's definitely opened a lot of doors for breakers to be able to live from breaking. And for me as well, I wouldn't be able to travel every weekend or every other weekend if it wasn't for the Olympics. I mean, like, I love going to all the, like, outbreak. I love going to IBE, to some kind of breaking event in like a nightclub somewhere, just like super underground, but without having the I'm doing this to practice for the Olympics. I wouldn't get any support, any like help to let me travel this much. But because breaking became a part of the Olympics, it's been much easier to get sponsorships and everything to be able to actually live this breaking life that always wanted to do.
So is this you now recognized as an official athlete? Like when like in terms of Norway and the way that they look at their athletes, are they actually treating you as an athlete?
Well, yeah, yeah. I actually been treating like an athlete for a couple of years since I think 2020, and we've been part of the Olympic sports facilities they have in Oslo, which is like really big, and we get all the help that we need, like physiotherapists, and if we need help with anything like strength training, stamina training, everything, we get the help for that. So I learn how to practice to get like the best possible results in the shortest amount of time. And yeah, we're recognized as athletes, both when we practice and if we do like an interview or whatever. It's always about athlete. So that's nice, but I still wanna. It's like for me, it's like a more competitive art form, because for me the art is always going to be important, to be like have your own style and have your own moves, your own movements. That's important to me. If it gets too clean and too not like special for you, then I think it's boring to watch. But that's, I'm a breaking nerd. Maybe normal people, they just like big flashy stuff anyway. But
I mean, that has been a conversation since I think the start of hip hop about this whole like what the form looks like, make it look less like gymnastics, and because breaking's in the Olympics, it's now looked as like gymnastics, and I think you know, the creativity that we have means that it will never look like it, and it will never be looked at the same way. It's just ignorance.
Yeah, that's true. But I feel like people do have, like, everyone is so special in their own way. Everyone does their own thing, and even though they're super clean, they still make it look like breaking. I'm not concerned because now we've been into this Olympic journey for about 3 years, almost 4 years, and I've just seen people just level up, and it's the same names as you said in the BC1, in the Battle of the Year, in the Outbreak. It's the same names doing it big in the Olympic qualifiers. So I'm not concerned, and I just think it's a new and really cool platform where we can showcase this to a broader audience.
And I think what's really good as well, as you alluded to there, that it's the same sort of people going. You know, you and Exaggerate have been at all these events, and when you do think about the top guys in Norway, it is you and him. How's the dynamic been? Like, whether it's like you're working with him or you're training with him or you're traveling with him?
I mean, like me and Exaggerate, we've been battling together, we've been traveling together, and we've been even competing against each other at some events, but still staying in the same room and everything. So I feel like we're pretty cool. We don't practice too much together, which is it's more just random. We practice sometimes together, but it's just like my schedule doesn't always fit his. We have like the opposite. When I'm working, he's off, and when he's working, I'm off. No, I'm working. I mean, so so yeah, but we got to travel a lot together, and we did all of these competitions and everything. So we really got to know each other much better than if it wasn't for this Olympic journey.
And if we talk about your training, if we talk about the way you've approached this, is it any different? Like, are you actually training in a different way than you were like years ago, like prior to all this?
Yeah, I would say actually I changed my practice a little bit because before, like maybe up until 2019 or something, 2018, I was just practicing whatever I wanted. I came to practice and I was like, oh, today I feel like doing some air flare variations, or today I want to do some flips and something. But now I actually practice for what I'm gonna need for a competition, and I'm practicing how I would do it into a competition. So I could do like one practice could be just going rounds for rounds for rounds, both for doing all of my vocabulary and also practice my stamina as well. I wouldn't do that before. Before I would just go in and I would try to make some cool stuff, and then 2 months later I'll just make something new. So I just before I was maybe creating more, but now I'm trying to create like, okay, I have, let's say I do have a lot of flips. Okay, let's make something that's not a flip because I want to have like a bigger vocabulary. I want to have more variation to what I do. So it's changed the way I approach my practice in this way, which I think is a good thing because it makes me more how it is like I learn more stuff and I have more stuff that's not the same.
Would you say that there's any negatives in all this? Like, has there been a part of the Olympic journey that's maybe changed something and you've not been so happy about it?
I mean, like there's been a concern that I've heard a lot of people have is that you kind of become just a number. So from this weekend, you're number 54, and last weekend you're number 7, and then you're just suddenly you're just a number. You're not yourself anymore. You're not you, and it feels like less personal. Like in the big competitions, if Chas was doing a competition and you didn't make it through prelim, you're still Chas. But here it's just like a failed result. Okay, this weekend you failed, and there's nothing to bring home. And when you're doing all this training at these Olympic facilities that I know people do all around the globe, they want some results. They don't care if you won, if you came to top 32, but on your way there you beat, let's say if you beat Shigekix on your way there, they don't care. They don't care if you lose to Shigeki's in top 32 or Victor or Phil or anyone like. They just want your what ranking did you get from this competition? Okay, this is how good you are.
Mm. Has
And
that
I
negatively
think that's
affected you
the
though?
what?
Like, has that negatively affected you? Like, have people treated you differently by that?
Not necessarily treated me differently, but I've kind of feel sometimes that you're failing because you're not getting the results that they want. Because I feel, let's say, I feel I'm improving, but everyone else is also improving. So maybe you get the same ranking time after time. But for me, I'm happy because I get better. But for the other people, they want the ranking to get better, and they don't really care who I meet in the like. Because I can be lucky and come pretty far in a competition, and I can be really unlucky and lose early, but it doesn't matter to the people that don't know about breaking. They just know your ranking, and it affects you. Like you're getting stressed. You feel like, oh shit, next time I really have to perform now to deserve to be here, to deserve to be the one that they try to push to get better for the Olympics. And that's like a stress factor, which is super. Like when I got fourth place in the European Championship, that was that it was like easy going for a while, and then once I injured my thumb and I got like I fell down from the world ranking. I was ranked number 8, and I fell down to like 17th, uh, and that was hard. I mean, that wasn't fun, but it's just a part of the process, and I had to kind of challenge myself and to get used to it, and just yeah, just not let it affect me too much. So for me now, I just break and try to be the best I can, and the results doesn't really matter to me because I just want to get as good as I can be, and I can't get any better than that.
It's also helpful that you're used to being on those big stages as well. And for people that are less experienced, like they have experience, like they've maybe won local jams or some national jams and things like this. But the Olympics is like a whole different thing. I remember someone talking about the Silverback Open when it was going, and they would say, if you're not winning events, you shouldn't be entering Silverback Open because you're not going to make it through. And I remember, like, we've both already been there. There's like 700 people that enter the one-on-one battle. How many of those 700 people, one, have won an event, and two, actually have the skill level to be there? And I'm just looking at this objectively. It doesn't matter to me what you do or what you don't do. I'll always encourage people to move into what they want to do. But I'm just wondering if the Olympics is the same thing as well, where if you're in the lower, always in the lower tiers, always in the lower brackets, is there a point where you say, look, I don't think this is going to work. I just have to get better first?
I think some people do that, and some people just get a free trip to some kind of cool country that I can visit, and also some people, of course, most of them is trying to develop and get better, and it might just be almost this time, and then maybe next time you think you can go through, and then it almost works out that time too. So I mean, like everyone is on their own journey. I don't know what motivation everyone has, but I'm just happy that people get to do it, even though you pass the prelim or not. You're still a part of this, and some places. I mean, like in Montpellier last year, no, Montpellier this year actually. Only 32 people went through the prelim. So I mean, like out of I don't know how many competitors, 150, 32 goes through. So there's gonna be a lot of good breakers not making it through there. I mean, like it's nothing to be ashamed of to not go through the prelim, and the prelim is tough.
Talk me through the process for the European Games. See, when you were there at the European Games and you said that you had to battle exaggerate and everything like that. Just sort of on a different note to that, was there an added pressure because you knew that if you won, then you were going to the Olympics?
Yeah, for sure. It was tense, much tenser than it usually is in any of those like World Series, because everyone knew that the winner is going to the Olympics, and everyone really wanted it. So it was tense, and I felt like more than before, each country kind of stick to their own like own team and their own people all the way up until the competition. And me and Exaggerate, we were even sharing room, and we were battling each other in the first round. So so that was tough. And also it's crazy because both me and Exaggerate wants it, and I'm cheering for him, but I also want it for myself. So so yeah, it was like a fucked up situation, but it happens. People from same country still have to battle each other, and that's just a part of it.
If we talk about like what's next, if we talk about, as I said, I had a look at the rankings. It looks like you're going to the Olympic qualifier series. I believe there's two events that they're doing, one in Asia, and I cannot remember where the other one is. Obviously, like, oh, that's where it is. Okay, Budapest and Shanghai. So obviously, that's me looking at the rankings. But in terms of like an official confirmation, you haven't had that official confirmation yet, have you?
No, because the official confirmation needs to come after the World Series in Hong Kong. Because let's say number 12, 13, and 14 does like a bad competition there. Maybe someone else would surpass them, and suddenly the top 14 from the ranking that goes through is someone else than now. But yeah, I also looked at the ranking, and it looks like I'm pretty far up in it. So I should be good anyway. How it goes, I will go to Hong Kong anyway because I just love competing, and it's a good way to get some experience on this stage, because it's gonna be the same with Budapest, same with Shanghai, and hopefully the same in Paris.
Yeah. And then talk about your training for it. When you look to the future and you look to those possibilities, how are you going to structure your training leading up to it for both your physical fitness and also for your dancing?
I mean, like now I'm in a period where I'm trying to renew myself, try to get rid of like all the old sets and the bad habits, and I try to make some new things that I find interesting, and something that I feel like okay, I can I can probably be able to do this in 5 months or 6 months or something, just in time for the OQS. And I try to develop this, and at the same time try to improve my stamina. That's where I feel like if you see some of the best, they it looks like they're never getting tired, and I want to be like that. I want to go round for round for round and seem unaffected of the physical work. So so yeah, I'm just trying to learn some new things, trying to learn things that I maybe haven't done before. So maybe in 2024 you can see a whole new Daniel 2.0 or something. So but still I want to play with it. I don't want to be just like making a plan and this is what I'm practicing and this and this and this and then just execute that. I still want to play, and through playing with the dance, that's where I often find the most new things that I end up using.
I see.
But for sure, I practice a lot at practice, and I battle a lot at practice. I mean, so maybe once, two times a week, I go battling rounds at practice and just trying new things and crashing, falling on my face, and get up again and keep going. Just because that's how I feel like I can improve. Mostly solo, but if I do battles, I ask maybe like a friend, or I go to some open practice and do it like that. But like today, I'm alone. I'm in north of Norway on tour, so I'm alone at practice, and then I just do like a timer, and I do a round, and then I have like okay about 35-second break, and then I do another round, and then I film it, and then I see how everything looks, and it's like, oh, that was bad, and then I have to work on that. Oh shit, that looked better than I thought. Okay, keep it like that because that looked good, and oh shit, now I'm completely off the music. Okay, so next time I do this, be more focus more on this and do that, and do less of this and more of that, and suddenly it becomes a little better every time, I hope.
Well, there's only two more things that I have to ask you. The first thing is, once everything is all said and done, once the Olympics is all done, once your involvement in it is all done, what sort of impact do you want to have made?
Well, I definitely want to have been representing myself and my country, Norway, of course. But I just want to do my thing, and I want to do that as good as I possibly can. If that's enough for a win, or if that's enough for just getting to the Olympics, or a top eight, top four, some kind of medal, doesn't really matter, because I just want to get as good as I can become in breaking. And that doesn't mean I'm gonna be the best, but I'm gonna be the best Daniel I'm gonna be. And well, I don't care too much about like the celebrity status. I mean, like it's nice to if people appreciate the breaking part, because that's what I spend all my time on, the breaking. So if people appreciate my breaking, I will be happy. I don't really care if they know my face or my name, but if they like my breaking, that means something. And after the Olympics, I think I'll probably keep battling, but maybe I will go more into like performing arts and be using breaking more towards that way, or through more creative video work. Because as you know, I love making videos with breaking, and that's something that I always love to do. And I've been putting that on hold for this Olympic thing. But once we're done with the Olympics, I want to keep pursuing that and see where that can bring me. So my goal is just to improve myself in at the moment towards battling and breaking as breaking is. And then maybe after that, I want to pursue how can I use breaking into video art or performing arts, or I just want to be as good as I possibly can. And yeah, I just when I'm done with breaking in hopefully many years, I can look back and see like I did everything I could to I mean like I really pushed everything I did in it. And yeah, that's what I want to leave out there when I'm done.
And last thing from me, why should people tune into the Olympics? Why should people watch? It's breaking's first time at the Olympics. What can people expect?
I mean, like it's historical. It's the first time breaking is a part of the Olympics. Might even be the last. And it's yeah, one of the biggest stages in the world. And if you love breaking, you definitely want to see it being done there by some of the absolute best breakers in the world. And already there is some amazing names qualified. Some of my favorite b-boys and b-girls. I would recommend everyone to tune in. I think it's gonna be really nice.